all the girls in the world. Where do you begin describing the girl? At the tips of her fingers that play with the ends of her hair so innocently, fingers that wait to be intertwined in a pair of hands that fit so perfectly into someone else's. Or on the bridge of her nose, the first thing she sees when she wakes up, the curved tip of her face that introduces her eyes to the stunning impossibilities of the world around her, the last thing before she goes to sleep, the very last thing before her eyes begin to adjust to her dreams. Does her story begin with painted toenails and high-pitched laughter, or broken hearts and echoing cries for help with rosy or tear-stained cheeks? When did she lose her first tooth, and when did she lose that piece of her still missing? How do you begin defining the girl who continuously erases any trace of definition and who locks up her diary as well as her mind? She's always thought her legs were too bony, her smile too crooked, her skeletons too abundant to hide in any closet. She used to check under the bed for monsters, but little does she know, they're still there. So how do you begin telling the girl who refuses to listen? Tell her that the mirror's reflection is dubious, but the mother's welcoming arms are open. Tell her that the hand she's waiting for will never come if she doesn't stop playing with the ends of her hair. Tell her that the definition that the world is looking for is the definition of some other girl, but not this girl. How do you describe all the girls in the world? How do you tell them to open their eyes? Those eyes that have the potential to reflect the sun and the moon and the universe into the souls of everyone they pass by. How do you tell them to keep running, keep laughing, keep crying for the sake of the rest of the girls who are just waiting to find one another? And when they do, they'll find the hands that they've been searching for. Hands that when intertwined could be held in place forever. The hands of all the girls in the world.
The dinner date.
Appetizer.
God, I really hate this blazer. The wool is sticking to my arms and the buttons are too tight and her eyes are so pretty. Can't you tell I'm nervous? That I'm counting the time she brushes her hair behind her ears and laughs. That's 13. Oh God, she's looking at me. At my tie, I knew I shouldn't have worn this tie. What kind of a guy wears a tie with turtles on it?
What kind of a guy wears a tie with turtles on it? I mean, maybe we're at SeaWorld. Maybe it's a conversation starter, but it's not. It's just some dumb tie. But turtles?
Can't you tell I'm staring at her dress? It's mesmerizing. Pinstripes look like extended strands of her hair that run all the way down her body like raindrops, and the ribbon around her waist is just so perfect. And I wore a turtle tie.
I wore this stupid dress. I look ridiculous. I'm like a birthday gift, all wrapped up and ready to give. And it's not the tie that's so bad. It's just the way he looks. Like this time and this place isn't quite right for him. I think it's the blazer. He keeps scratching it. That's number 5. What is he trying to tell me? What is he trying to say? Why does he keep staring at our waitress? Is he trying to seduce our waitress? Wait, we have a waiter. Is this guy gay? No, he keeps staring at us. With those beautiful, dark brown eyes.
Sometimes I like to look at my feet, because there are times when I am so incredibly bored and there is nothing in my vicinity to ease the pain of dullness. And the man sitting in the chair across from me, yeah, he's staring, because I've been sitting at this table for a full 30 minutes, waiting for one of my working parents to come pick me up, with nothing to do. So I like to look at my feet. If I'm wearing sandals, I'll wiggle my toes, name the Pinky Rose and the Biggie Sharon, so that when 2 and 2 come together, they make Rose of Sharon, and Mr. Stranger Danger over there will be stupefied by my college prep grapes of reference. And if I wear boots, I look at my blah blah toes, punching the inside of my shoes on Muhammad Ali, and the man will marvel at the sheer strength of Rose and Sharon. But if I wear Converse, I think of all the Rose of Sharons of yore, the strength, the force of marching feet to the beat of liberty, all in unison and spanning centuries, linking their feet across barriers, stomping and storming streets, and in effect, saving me. Now, I marvel. The man with the salt and pepper hair nods his head. I don't know if at me. picks up his feet, and walks away.
I would tell her. Every once in a while, I look at old pictures of myself and I think, wow, I remember that girl. That girl was funny in all the right ways and more optimistic than she had the right to be. She loved fiercely and trusted without restraint. She laughed often and never hesitated to smile. I look at her carefree face and I wish I could go to her, crawl right through the image, past the ink and Kodak paper. I would grip her shoulders and look her in the eye and say, I'm sorry, because I let her down. I hurt her and I changed her. She had plans and dreams that I crushed and I let her give up. I let the world attack her and I didn't even try to protect her. I hadn't realized that the pebbles they were throwing were really faraway boulders, and when it started raining rocks, I refused to run to safety, but stayed and let them crush me and destroy her. She was counting on me to help her, to get her to the other side of her trial safely, and I would tell her how sorry I am that I didn't, and how I wish I could change it and make things right, and how much I miss her. But that's not all I would tell her. I would also tell her that the only way out is through, and as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, we acquire the strength we overcome, so as long as you keep breathing, you'll be okay. And you may not be trusting or optimistic, but you are original and confident and driven. You're passionate and you know who you are, and things might be tough now, but you're stronger than you know. And most importantly, I tell her that she's not alone, that there are people who love her and who are braced to catch the rocks with her, if only she'd remember to call for help. I tell her that we're not finished yet. This is not the final product. We are a work in progress. And I would promise her that we will find our way back.
Do you know her? I have a question. Do you know that girl too tall for heels, who has a friend too short for flats? That girl who bites her lip every time she says something wrong, wishing she was that person who always knew what to say and at the right moment to say it to. That girl who sings even when the music is not even on. Might not always get what you mean, but she'll always kind of nod on. Yes, that girl who helped me with my homework instead of doing her own. Thank you. That girl who asks all these questions that she already knows the answer to just because she wants to hear you say it. That girl whose 3 wishes just never came true, but knows that in the end, her prayers will always follow her through. That girl who smiled at me when she made me mad, because she knew I didn't really mean it. That girl who, when I met her, just seemed so quiet, but now she just won't shut up. Yes, that girl. Do you know her? Because somehow, she reminds me of you.
What do I know? I know they make me crazy. I know they make me want to sing, dance, yell, laugh, cry. But the peace that girls have is amazing. You see, girls can seed chaos, soothe madmen, and I love it when they wear the earrings all the way up the side. I had my misconceptions. Up until grade 9, I could have sworn you had cooties. But now it feels safe to hold your hand. And I never thought girls could play with trucks, but now I know a girl with a Tonka collection 10 times the size of mine. She can play with them just as well. The world's most powerful women, they strike fear into the hearts of terrorists and crime lords, and I'm supposed to ask you out on the date. I am certain, I know this as a fact, I cannot understand what women say to me. I come to you as an alien with my heart in my hands and my brain somewhere else. I ask you, what was the chemistry homework? You reply with, I say, what? You just told me it was pages 50 to 51, but I'm lost, in a trance mesmerized as your hair falls down to your perfect feet. I'm a simple boy with a simple outlook, so I present this. Do not try to understand girls. Just go along for the ride. Because girls are going places.
Andre.
Come on. Say something.
Why can't I think of anything to say?
The food is here. Do you want me to just gobble it down in silence? No, I'll pick at it and stare at those deep brown eyes. I'm gonna wink. It'll be perfect. I'll look like that girl out of Revengers, Scarlet Joe, it doesn't matter. Here we go.
Are you choking?
No!
I need to think of something to say that's witty and funny and genuine. Something that makes me look like Jake Gyllenhaal and sound like Morgan Freeman. Something brilliant, spontaneous. Your eyes are really beautiful. They look icy.
Icy?
Yeah, like frozen water.
Is he saying I'm cold? Are you saying I'm cold?
No, I don't think so. Wait, are you cold? Because I can totally give you my jacket if you want. Guys do that, right?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Anticipation. She stands here in anticipation. No one wants to hear what she has to say. She sucks at poetry anyway. Every breath and even every little movement in that moment is questionable. The breaths become faster and faster along with the heartbeat. She stands here alone and petrified. She starts to run until she can't run anymore. Where is she going? She can't run away from them this time. Little girl, grow up. The shaking, the sweating, the choking, it's all taking over, no turning back. Pathetic, pathetic, pathetic little girl. Just give up already, you aren't good enough. Why don't you understand? They understand, or at least they say they do. Little girl, you must learn. Stop curling up to hide from your fears. Stop sitting in your corner. All your skin has been stripped away, and you are left here, bare and alone, in front of unknown subjects, talking about nonsense no one even cares about. She looks around the stage, and she is alone, bare and alone.
How I learned to love the night. As a child, I hated the night. It was a time to just let my day go. I had a nightlight, okay, I confess. But it was to cast away the boogeyman, to keep the dark world away. It was lighter then. But when there was no light that day, I, alone with terror, met the darkness with horror. It was so dark, my hands were gone. So dark, I was convinced there would be no dawn. In the abyssal gloom, I saw a shape. A person, though taller, with wider gait. It came down and sat on the edge of my bed and said, "You see the dark as being empty. I see you as being envious." And then it left. So I looked around. I stood upon the dark ground and looked out my window to see a fair moon and her twinkling escapes. And in my room, a mirror held a glimmer of what I was to be. Through darkness, now I see that the dark has become me, given me the strength to destroy my fears, and my damned furies no longer come near to me. Speed up to now. I now wear my darkness. So I asked the moon to send her beams upon the dreams of all those lost girls, still fearing their darkness. Let them own their darkness. Let them wear it like a coat, and let them dig deep in its pockets to find that key to unshackle themselves from strife and misery.
Wait, no, you. You should, okay,
You.
okay.
I am awkward. That means I can't wear high heels, I'll fall down. It means I speak fluent gibberish and trip on air. It means if you're my friend and you take me out in public, I will embarrass you. Now, sometimes I wish that the things I said sounded like words flowing off the pages of a movie script. But what's the point of that if there are no cameras rolling? There may not always be a right thing to say, only a funny face to be made to salvage the pieces of the day that just seem to float away. And so I'm afraid that if the cameras ever start rolling, the face will become serious, the wallflowers will peel away and plant themselves as plastic roses, and the girl who once leapt to catch the falling pieces of the day won't have her passion to fall back on anymore. If my awkward angles were filed down to create 90-degree elbows and knees, and they told me that girls smile for the camera and wear high heels, I would look them in the eyes and tell them, try being awkward, it's much more fun. I would skip away down the hall and probably trip and fall because
I am awkward. That means I apologize to the chairs I walk into. It means I mostly speak in references no one else understands. It means I dance with the full knowledge that I could hit the ground at any second, and it means that you should come find me during the zombie apocalypse because I have a plan. When I walk in the hall and it looks like someone's going to walk into me, I don't move out of the way, I brace for impact. And no, I don't trip, I mean to high-five the wall with my face. It also means I might run away at any moment because I think I hear the TARDIS, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a wand I brought to all the Harry Potter midnight showings. Sometimes I look at all the normal people out there living their lives, and for a split second I think just maybe they've got it right. But then I trip and my jumbled mess of a head recalibrates back to me, and I just end up feeling sorry for them. Because why be like everyone else when you could be creating your own world? And the road might be a bit rougher, but at least I know I'm headed somewhere great. And however I get there, whether I trip, fall, or knock into it accidentally, it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait to get there. Because I don't want to be normal. I want to be odd and quirky and sometimes a little bit out there. Sidelong glances and averted eyes have become a guide to knowing that I'm on the right path. Because where I'm going, we threw away the road map, the compass points southeast on a good day, and instead we're going off of gut instinct in which trees look the least familiar. And the second I see a footprint, I know it's time to change direction, lest I accidentally become someone else. Because being me is all I could ask for. And while Gravity and I might not always be on the same team, I will gladly greet the earth when I fall, just to know that I've made it, and I've made it as me. Because I am awkward.
Girl up. What does a girl have to do in this world? I mean, really. Sure, they say we're all beautiful, unique in our own special way, like a butterfly, no two wings are alike, but they are categorized, just like girls. They are put into groups. Ugly, cute, ew. Why? I don't want to be in a group. I see, I hear, I experience this fun and ridicule that is made of a sex, so I ask, what does a girl have to do? I mean, really do in this world to be loved, to be appreciated, to not feel like she isn't good enough. So many people will tell you you're not good enough, yet so many people will tell you that you are an amazing person. So girls are like art, subjective, objective. Does anyone really know what they are? Between the strokes and the colors and the frame, can we see the canvas? The base of it all that is covered, waiting, suffocated. Trying to reach for a hand that might have the wisdom to reach for it. A girl is a canvas. Do what you want with her, do what you can, make your mark on that canvas, but when you walk down the street, notice that pavement you take advantage of. Notice the cracks in it, the way your heels click on it. Click, click, click. Like the hours and days wasted worried through about ourselves. What do we put girls through? Are they the foundation or the ground? Are they the image or the reflection? Are they just a surface to wipe your wasted thoughts upon like a napkin that never seems to leave the sidewalk? Girl up. Realize how strong she is. So strong, in fact, that no matter her burden and unknown self, a girl can hold up the world. From weakness. From bravery. Girl up. Don't paint over her. Don't cover her. Don't classify her. Let her shine. Let her be. Let her carry her burden so that she may discover and so that she may grow into a woman.
Dessert.
She smiles every time I look at her. Almost like it's a privilege that she's giving me this gift. Just once, maybe twice, just a smile, a laugh, a nod. She's so calm, cool, collected, and she keeps doing that thing with her hair. That's 27. Dear God, I just want to kiss her.
He's warm, like a fire, just warm enough to draw the cold out of a room and bathe it in light. And he kind of glows in a turtle tie. But it's not what he wears, it's who he is. He's a romantic. He's not a drunk in Paris or a hermit in Berlin. He's here. Southern California holds a true romantic. And it's the way he holds my hand, supporting it, rubbing his thumb across the top, sitting across from me, drinking it all in. He makes this moment endless.
I'll take the bill. Chivalry is not dead, she'll think. What a gentleman, she'll think. She'll let me kiss her then, right? Just like she's let me look at her all this night. She's really very beautiful. You're really very beautiful.
Your deep brown eyes make me want to melt. Thanks.
I'll take the bill.
You're the most gentle man I've ever met. Thanks.
I hold the door and walk her to her car.
He holds the door and watches me the whole time. I think he knows I like it.
I'll watch as those pinstripes fade to raindrops in the window as she...
I can't drive away. I've got to say it. I had a great time tonight.
Yeah, me too.
Phoenix. The day you got the Phoenix tattoo on the top of your head is the day that I named you one of the 3, now 4 bald people I know. You're in good company. Michael Chiklis, Lamar Odom, my rabbi, and now there's you. But the day that you decided to shave it all off is not nearly as important as the day that you drew it back on yourself. Traded golden strands for golden feathers, tracing the right side of your scalp, echoing the bolded words inside your fighting body. Strength. Your veins are like hot metal tin cans, because they are cans that have been reused and reduced and renewed, and even though your bones stand as tall as metal poles, crack them open anyway, and there's a sweetness. It tastes like chocolate chip cookie dough, and it's the strength I'm talking about. It's the strength that pulses through your tin can veins and gets its power from your heart. It's the strength that gets you through the rounds of chemo, the sudden pneumonia, the sleepless nights in the hospital when not even reruns of Will and Grace can get you through the cold metal beds. But still you are a girl. And like the phoenix you rise, like the phoenix you soar, like the time you told me that I could conquer the world. Hiked the Laston County mountains with me, and once spent your entire rest period teaching me how to climb a tree so that I could climb and catch the trapeze like the phoenix that you try to be, but still you are a girl. I sent your 21st birthday card in the mail yesterday. Do you know how many bald women there are? How many of them wear their strength on the phoenix tattoo on the top of their head, viciously glaring to the world, screaming, "Bring it! Give me another obstacle." The sunlight's glimmer on the top of your head lets me know that the universe is on your side. When you stand on the top of the hill in front of all the other girls who are ashamed, who wear on their heads wigs and berets, you stand naked, vulnerable to all of the pains. And one day when your hands really do turn to feathers and they teach you how to fly, I know that you will visit the mountains that we climbed and watch with your bird's eye as I continue to fight. But now you are a girl, and like the phoenix you rise, like the phoenix you soar, and that phoenix on the top of your head lets me know that you are strong.
For the girl. This is for the girl who has ever looked into her own reflection and seen only duplicates of her insecurities. Sees her eyes as too far apart, her hair falling flat on the left and too frizzy on the right, and knows she swears came out of a Stephen King novel, and lips. Lips that no one has ever bothered to kiss, and why would they? And as the wind travels through her bathroom window, carrying the smell of gasoline evaporated off of wet cement, dragging along with it a weight that slams into her chest and stays there, this is for her. For the girl who sits alone at lunch, eating half a carrot, listening to the noises of the world as they buzz about her head in a dark dream. The girl who must taste like a soaped-up dish rag used over and over again to pry crusted crap from chipping plates. Her mind wanders and she searches for a shoulder that fits her fragile head. This is for the girl who has said goodbye too many times to someone who she felt her heart was attached to by a rubber band that could stretch for miles and never break. And for the girl who's watched that band deteriorate until it snapped and never even found all the pieces. This is for the girl who looks into her own watery reflection, grabs a hold of porcelain arms, and tries to take control of her life. The girl who looks like the way you feel when you see an ASPCA commercial, who feels like nothing more than kindling, who smells like acetone and hairspray being singed by a curling iron, who tastes like the bitter rind of an orange peel. This is for the girl who swallows her pain like a pill, who jokes because the truth hurts, who lies, cries, she's hypnotized, can't realize she's loved. This is for the girl who says, I'm fine. You are the sun as it pierces the horizon with its flame. You are the hope in the face of the fading. You are the breath that sends the dandelion flying. You are the sound of laughter just on the verge of turning to tears. And you are the taste of rain dancing on pale tongues. And when I tell you this, you will cry because you do not believe me. And so with all the honesty of innocence, I will tell you that you are the most beautiful person I have ever met. Your soul is a star in the sky, your very own spark of divinity. And when to yourself you lie, when you sit alone and cry, and when you say goodbye, that divinity will lift you. But when worse comes to worse, when darkest side tackles you and you can't get up, I will be there. Because I know, we all know, I will hold you in these arms and smooth your hair. I will listen to you when you can't bear to keep your thoughts to yourself. I will hand you a Kleenex while you sob. Hell, I'll let you wipe your snotty nose on my sleeve and say, I give up. And I will say, okay. I will gather all the girls in the world to build you a stepladder to the sky. I will kiss you on the cheek and tell you to climb past the light and into the darkness until you see it. Your star. Bright and everlasting. You will grab it in your clammy hands and it will burn, but you will smile. That is when you will realize that it was there all along. And so with a heart pounding, you will climb back to us and I will be waiting for you. And you will believe me when I tell you that you are the most beautiful person I have ever met.